Hello, and welcome to The Listening Room, a spirituality podcast brought to you by SpiritSourceConnect.com. My name is Suzanne Goulet, and in each episode, I'll be speaking to you about new spirituality and how you can use it to improve your daily life. By offering you insights, tools, and techniques, you'll become more aware of your connection to a higher power and begin to accelerate your path to a life of greater joy, ease, and flow. Enjoy! After taking the last several weeks to button up, package up, and eliminate activities and practices I was being directed to no longer spend my time on, a whole new world opened up. Of course, this was a little scary, but in my heart, I knew this direction was correct. In fact, I'd been receiving that direction for quite some time. But now, the message was becoming much more adamant. The scariness came from letting go of some income-producing activities and to slowly but surely put more time and energy into what really lights my fire: teaching. Now that I am beyond that transition, that few weeks of undoing, clearing up, and carefully buttoning up and letting other individuals know what I was no longer going to be available for, what I can testify to you now is, wow. Suddenly, I was engulfed with a great deal more time and spaciousness. Now I had more time to think, to create, and to contemplate a new path. Now I had a lot more spaciousness in my surroundings, reflecting an inner space of clarity. And what happened next? Several new and much broader income-producing activities showed up. And they are all those that bring me so much more joy and exhilaration. So in my post today, I'll be outlining a few practical steps you too can take if you know you're lined up for some positive shifts and changes in your life. If you've been receiving and following my newsletters lately, you've read about the constant reconfigurations that Spirit can take us through while on our paths to greater power, expansion, and wholeness. Being whole does not mean that you get to decide which parts of you are the ones you will accept and the ones that you will reject. Rejection of any kind, any parts of you, allows them to go under, fester inside, sometimes being relegated to the rubbish bin of your subconscious, which then goes out and transforms your reality on the exterior of your life into a living hell that you do not want. This is what the Course in Miracles refers to as guilt. And if guilt is hell, what is its opposite? Innocence. You are innocent, all parts of yourself. So often we are keeping all the best and brightest and exceptional parts of ourselves hidden away because we think they are unacceptable, or that they won't make others happy, or that dreaded, "it'll never make me any money," a belief that could hardly be the truth. The real truth of the matter is, you are entirely holy, and in your holiness lies all the ways in which you can create a world of happiness for yourself. No matter what it is that ails you, your biggest, brightest, and best parts of yourself are what will bring you the answers and bring joy back into your life again. And you may ask, well, how do I do that? First, we have to understand that you already know what brings you joy the most. Next, we have to understand that it is likely those parts of you that you have shunned and made guilty and put away to be hidden, when in fact, these are exactly the things that would make you happiest. We do these things out of a matter of habit, and as a way, we think, of making us safer in order to feel or be more acceptable to the world outside. We've had plenty of training around this shoving away of what really makes us happy through previous conditioning, life experiences, and whatever else we did to accommodate thriving in this challenging world. But if you're on a spiritual path, you know that this can no longer exist for you. You know that you will need to move out of your shell in order to let your brightest light shine. And so often, we are so programmed to be shoving parts away, we no longer know what it's like to really and truly fully live in our gifts and abilities that are God-given to us. I encourage you forward with a few practices such as these. Start looking around and getting rid of anything old in your environment. Anything that no longer serves you or lights you up. Move things out of your house. Any relationships you know you need to put more space between you and they. And if you'd like, you can listen to my previous podcast on Feng Shui for Life for more inspiration and instructions on how to do this. Essentially, start creating space on the outside, and you will see that this starts to create more space and clarity on the inside. You will begin to see more clearly what internal elements need to go as well. Some of these could be activities you're engaged in. Some could be relationships that bog you down and you're no longer a good fit. Some of these could be health habits you're keeping, whereas a new set of habits and practices to maintain your well-being are being called into your life. Whatever your path of progression might be, the key element to all of this is to listen to your joy. Where are you following a path of obligation instead of joy? Where are you keeping actions out of habit instead of joy? What are you doing for your life's work out of a familiarity and security instead of joy? I know this is a lot to give you in a short period of time. However, getting started on the right path for you always starts with having the seed of a new idea planted. What you do with it, allow it to wither and die, or to be put off for a someday, is always up to you. Personally, I have found that taking steps immediately on things is always the way to anchor a new idea into a grounded reality, no matter how small that step is. And before I know it, a new experience of life has become manifest. My wish and hope is that this can happen for you too. This is Suzanne, and I want to thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this program and would like to receive a free gift, please visit spiritsourceconnect.com. Thank you.